Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Realness with 3 S's. I'm your host here, Chantele Francis, here with my lovely co-host. Today we have
Jojo.
Jojo. How are you doing today, Jojo?
I am. Not gonna lie. I'm freaking a mess.
Why are you a mess?
I did some back break-in work on Friday in my closet and did a little twisty twist, and I've been pretty much stoned on medication since then. I'm not driving my car. I know I am inside a car. I'm not driving stoned, so no fear. I'm just parked outside my condo. All good.
Thank you.
But yeah, I'm just sitting upright and kind of enjoying not the pain of my mid back.
You're just a little loopy, you know?
Just a little off.
I like Stone Jojo. You're so like chill.
Oh, Stone Jojo was like early 20s Jojo. I didn't smoke pot like as a teenager, but early mid 20s, my roommates and I, we would like play Mario Kart Wii, and we get super stoned and eat pizza and love our lives and never leave our home because we're like, outside world, no. This world, yes. And play Rainbow Road. You know, like that flashy, like.
Oh, dun 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 dun. No, that's the star power. Never mind. No, if this is your first reality, well then welcome. We are very happy to have you here. If you could please, da 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 da. Hold on. Da-da, where's my banner? Okay. Da-da-da-da. Subscribe right down over there because we are trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. We are much over the halfway point. So let's just make it happen. We have less than 400 subscribers to go to hit our goal. So please help us out. We love talking to you. So join us in the chat as well. So we are talking today about Sequester. My Guilty Pleasure, Season 4, Episode 7, Shark Bite. Overall thoughts of the episode.
Another beautiful episode. I watched back like the first 10 minutes of our podcast last week. I'm like, how many times did I say beautiful in the span of 45 seconds? It was ridiculous. So I'm gonna cut out of my vocabulary just a little bit. I thought it was an exciting episode. A little predictable, but loved every minute.
Definitely agree with you here. I mean, I've been loving the entire season. I'm not sure if it's because like I love the characters, or if I love the twist, or if it's just so much better than Big Brother US All Stars that I'm just like craving having sort of a reality competition gameplay. But I'm just really enjoying it, and I'm kind of putting myself and be like, oh, what would I do? What would I do? And who would I, side with? And me wanting to be part of that cast, of that part of that dynamic. I think it's why I like it so much. It's that I'm just like inserting myself into the game, really, immersing myself,
Yeah, I don't think it's any surprise that this cast is really strong in general. And every week they've been bringing it from entertainment levels to strategic levels to gameplay to interpersonal relationships pre-game. Really good stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty layered.
Initially we had said like how having previous connections would come into favor for a lot of players. I don't actually think that was necessarily the case with the way that the game has been portrayed. Ow, sorry.
Sorry. So one thing though, at the beginning of the episode, we get reminded about like the battle pass with the Jacob used that prevented him from going in, and him throwing in Brendan and Brendan losing. I was like, I couldn't remember what happened, and I think it's because I didn't really remember Brendan that much. I was surprised that what?
How do you forget Brendan?
I was like, I didn't know who. I was like, who left last week? I'm like, it just completely. I remember Muna winning. I just could not remember for the life of me who she was up against until he came back. I was like, oh my God, right. I forgot.
Yes, the drama that the last 20 minutes of Sequester had last episode. or the
But
previous
I guess
episode.
maybe I haven't been feeling his strategic push in the game. He's not been in any danger, so maybe that is why he was able to like not be involved in a lot of the major, navigating the game. He's just like, yeah, I'll say yes to this or I'll say no to that. And so maybe that's why he kind of fell off my radar as somebody to remember. I'm sorry. But I was reminded that he was the one that went home against Muna, and Muna came back into the game. So you were definitely happy about this. So was I. How did you feel though, like having this new episode with Muna back in?
I was a little nervous to see what would happen with Jacob, Muna, and Marcelo. I think Muna made it pretty clear how she felt about the two of them and what they did the previous episode. So no blood loss. But the round itself was really interesting. We'll clearly get to that, I'm sure. I'm positive about that. I'm sure.
Muna said she was crying and she's like, I'm going to take out every single person and do it with a smile. And that's what I like though. I like the fact that even though she's like been beaten down and like they keep on trying to get her out and her allies have turned on her and like people she didn't expect to turn on her, she's still overcoming. She's still wanting to play. She's not allowing it to beat her down. And that resilience is what makes a winner. And this, I feel like it's right now, it seems like it's her story to tell. I can't see a story as good as hers getting to the end and like winning, like her story's been really good.
I actually don't think that Muna's the number one contender at this point.
Who do you think, Natalie or Josh?
Billy.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Billy.
But I think that it's very obvious though that Billy is playing a really good game. So I could see her being a casualty of like, take a shot at Billy or take a shot at like Muna doesn't, you know what I mean? Like I can see them going for her. Especially now that we'll talk about it more obviously, but now that Billy knows that Natalie kind of lied to her or misled her on how she was voting there and she was leading the charge for Muna to leave. So I can see Natalie retaliating because didn't they say like final 6? So this is the week that both of them said that they're going to take a shot at each other.
There it is. Yes.
So I don't know.
Final 6. I'm like, who's it going to be, Natalie or Billy? I don't know. We're not going to fast forward to the end of this episode, but there's still quite a few advantages in play at final 6. That's very dangerous, and playing them correctly is we're going to have to see what the round is. Who has safety? Playing things smart, playing your LOS smart. I don't know.
So the battle pass is back in play. So Muna goes in there obviously as the winner of the battle match, comes into Luxury Row to choose and chooses the middle one, and it's an empty envelope. So do you think it's going to be the same battle pass is going to be the advantage that's there, or do you think it might be a different advantage? Same?
I think it's the same one. Yeah. I think it'll be the battle pass.
Battle pass. Fair. But now this is another thing too with like the upcoming Billy versus Natalie. Natalie might know or just think that Muna has something. So maybe like she doesn't know that she had something from when she came from the battle back, but now that she's been to Luxury Row, she's going to assume probably that she has the battle pass. Like you just have to play that she most likely has it, So I can see this could be used to the advantage of getting out Billy, that information.
Absolutely, yeah. I think there will be some sort of safety next episode for one of the 6, I'm assuming. So I really think that Natalie's going to need it. Billy's going to have to go for it. Spencer's going to have to go. Everyone's going to have to go for it regardless. But it'll be about the LOS play and how to successfully do that. in my opinion.
True. So Marcelo obviously is scared that Muna's going to come back because basically he lied to everybody and stuck with Jacob. So this is what I have a question for you. So Jacob doesn't see how what he did was different to what Muna did to him. Can you maybe clarify as to like how it's either the same or how it's different?
Well, I definitely think it's different. I think Muna, it was when she called out Jacob's name when Spencer was about to choose her for the battle match. She kind of threw Jacob under the bus, and it was a life or death in the game situation. And she was just opening up a conversation like, he is also there. Maybe they could double team someone to be an offering up for Spencer. Jacob actively targeted Muna at the beginning of date night with Natalie. It could have been a little more finessed, maybe, because he really came out of it looking like I don't know. I feel like he is kind of looking like the villain of the season at this moment, and yeah, I do think there was a huge difference. I really do.
Can you guess my favorite? Can you guess my favorite moment of the episode?
Of last night's episode? Oh my god. Do I get?
It's around here where it came up. So.
What?
It was around here where it came up. My favorite moment.
Oh. I don't know. Tell me. I'm dying to know.
You're dying to know. It was when Billy was skipping rope and smiling at the camera. Like, I was like, that's the best moment I've ever seen on TV.
She is the fittest she's ever been in her life. Billy's ready to go. I love Billy. I've loved Billy for a while, but Billy is really impressive. She's
someone I would want to play with because, like, me. I like loyal. I like people that you can strategize with. I like what she has to offer. So I totally would. I would side up with Billy. So this is just put it out there, Billy. If we ever play anything together, okay? Just kidding.
Wink. No.
But yeah, she was just like, what did she say? Like, I'm the best shape of my life in my motherfucking life. I'm like, yes, you are, Billy.
Yeah. And if she calls you cuz, you're in trouble. She's like, listen, cuz. I'm like, oh no, okay, you're in trouble in this game when.
I loved it. And it was so good. So she was also, when we're waiting to see Muna come out, they're all outside and she's wearing like a mask and she has her glasses on and she's not looking happy, but she wanted to scare people or make them feel a certain type of way, maybe a little bit uncomfortable, a little guilty or whatnot. And I think it worked because even for me, I was like, Billy's, she ain't happy. I could tell that for sure. That was definitely emanating from her. So Jacob's heart drops when Muna comes back because he says it at the end of the episode, but I'm going to say it right now. A lot of these huge players, like if you take a shot, you better not miss because they will come back. And this is proof that, not that it was necessarily too early, but he missed.
He missed pretty bigly.
Pretty bigly. And Natalie is also frustrated here because she's now going to have to figure out how to do it all over again. And I guess they probably really thought that if it was something physical, like if it was like the battle match of tonight, I think Brendan would have had a better chance at beating Muna in it. But just like it was a little bit more of a intellectual, we'll say, battle match that she was able to sneak out a win more easily. But I think that he might have beat her, Brendan, if it was the same. If it was this week or even last week. What was last week's? The week before. The week before.
With Brendan Spencer, it was the sticks that they had to crawl. They had to crawl on them and like get to the jersey and then make their way back without touching the ground or falling off.
Oh, Brent. Okay, yeah. So that's another one that I think that Brendan might have beat Muna in. So she really did luck out with it being something that she would be better, that she could be better than him at. I think that because he has longer legs, he may have a little more stamina. Guys tend to be able to throw balls in holes a little bit better than women, on a very gross generalization, but they do it more often.
Marcelo's been doing beer pong for 10 years, and
yeah,
that math does not work up as an American. Drinking
now,
underage. Tisk tisk.
Are you finished?
Yeah.
So, Billy, I'm not Billy. So, Muna kept on saying, "Y'all need to stop underestimating me." So, do you think that people are underestimating her, or the complete opposite? Like, because I don't think that they're underestimating her at all, and I think that they put in Brandon being like, maybe he could take her out. But I don't think that she's going in, that like they're throwing in people thinking that she's not good or that we're underestimating her. I didn't really agree with that assessment. You too?
Yeah, 100% no. No one's underestimating Muna. God no. That's why they took the shot last week.
Exactly. So Jacob and Marcelo is going to be her drag if they throw her in again, and that I think was the best part of her gameplay, is that when you know who somebody is going to drag in, it makes it a lot easier for be like, well, I don't mind throwing in Muna. Like if I know that they're going to drag, she's not going to drag me. So I think that she may have wanted to keep that quiet, because then she would be able to, like, then depending on what the twist is going to be, but then they wouldn't necessarily be like, let's just get rid of Muna again. We know she's going to either drag one of those two. So I thought that she might have wanted to rethink that, but Joseph's in the house. Hi, Joseph. So they aren't underestimating Muna. I think that she was pissed that she had to go back for a second time. I think she regretted not using her LOS. It would have cost a Marcelo versus Spencer tie. Yeah, but she would never have known about the vote. Like nobody was telling her, and it was solidified at the end.
It worked out best for her that this happened, in my opinion.
Yeah,
that she went to the battle. She took Brendan out, came back in. The way that this round went, which I think we're about to talk about what the rules were.
Before we talk about the rules, though, Marcelo was trying to explain to Muna, and Muna would not let him talk. I did wish that she would let him talk a little bit, because, like, I just wanted to hear what he had to say, because he's just been kind of in the background playing this kind of scared game from my perspective, and, like, yes, being in on the plan, but like not really pushing his own agenda. So like, I did want to hear how he viewed himself in that situation. I wanted to hear it. And so, but she kept on kind of shutting him down there, which I wish that she hadn't, you know. So then they all start yelling, which was really, it wasn't the most fun. But Billy goes up and she reads the new Sequester bot note. So if I wrote it down correctly, it says, "Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, well, that won't happen. I'm willing to hear your pitches, but not if you enter as fishes. Sharks will get their way, so be bold with this play." This being that the remaining players are going to be pitching their two nominees to the jury. And whomever's pitches that the jury likes or wants to see that gameplay kind of follow through, they'll be rewarded with safety, and then those two nominees will be up for elimination. So what do you think about this twist?
I think it really, I don't know. Obviously, this twist was put into place before we knew who the jury members would be, so it would be beneficial for people like Muna or people that are liked by the jury to get their favorites one round through the game. I think it was a great opportunity for people like Natalie to explain their game so far. I think it would have been a great opportunity for people like Marcelo to kind of, I just don't think he did good job of explaining what he has been doing. It's not like Marcelo has been doing nothing. He has been playing the game.
It's intentional. What he's been doing is intentional, but that's why I wanted to hear him talk with Muna before, because I wanted to hear more about either if he's lying, like I want to hear how he's lying and what he's saying and how he's spinning this to get himself out of this hot water. So I wanted to hear more from him there as well.
Yeah, if your game's blown up, then own up to it and say, this is what I've been doing. Yeah, this is what I'm going to do moving forward. There we go. All on the same page. Perfect. I think he really could have taken that opportunity, though, to kind of impress the jury, because I wasn't impressed by that.
Well, because his opening line was, "I am the mastermind of this game," and that's not what the jury thinks. So whether you are or you're not, saying that isn't going to convince people that don't think that you're the mastermind of this game. You need to like paint everything and take them on the journey and be like, and then they come to their own conclusion that you're the mastermind of this game. But and just like even how he started up, like I was like, uh-oh, this isn't gonna go well. And she's like, every conversation that I had in this game is genuine. So I'm like, okay, with every conversation is genuine, then like, were you playing people? Like, were you being a mastermind here? Like, I felt that he was a mess. I felt that he started getting nervous at one point because his voice started to quiver a little bit. And unfortunately, I didn't think that it was a good pitch. And he wants to put up Josh and Jacob. So I was like, I don't think that was a good duo. It wasn't helpful for him to get them on his side, I don't think.
Yeah, who's mad at Josh on the jury? Nobody. Like, read the room. Say, like, throw Natalie and Jacob under the if he's so into throwing people under the bus to protect his own ass, admit it and then say, this is how I want to move forward. I think putting up Natalie and Jacob would be the best bet. They are the people that came from Muna. If that's his gameplay, if throwing people under the bus is his gameplay, then continue doing that instead of, someone that the jury might.
No, I think that actually would have been really good if he had said Jacob and Natalie, and then be like, they brought me into this vote and I thought it was the majority. Like, they totally made me feel as though whatever, he can just lie about what they made him feel and how it went down and that he wasn't for it. And like, now they're kind of lying and saying that he's more part of it than he was, and just like kind of throw them as being like the masterminds, and that you were a casualty of thinking that you're going with the numbers. And because of the twist, you weren't able to get more information from other people. So you went with someone you thought was your ally. But I would just have tried that, because that would be something that they might be able to get good to go for.
I think it was a really good opportunity to be yourself and open and honest with the jury and be like, this is what's happening, like it or not. This is how I'm playing the game. There it is. And Marcelo could have halfway through those 3 minutes, he could have said, I'm doing a really shit job of explaining this. So yeah, maybe bringing me to the final two is a guaranteed win for a lot of these people. So that's the new game that I'm playing. Who knows?
Something.
Just kind of own up to what you're doing.
Yeah. I didn't think that Muna's was that great either, personally. She wants to put up Marcella and Jacob. No surprise. And like, she doesn't like the fact that Marcella hadn't gone into a battle back. She reminds them that he came to an elimination in flip-flops. So I think that's good in a way to like, she kind of knows how the jury is kind of feeling maybe about some of these players. So she was playing into that a little bit. But when she was saying fighters, that she wants to be in the house in the game with fighters, she doesn't feel like Jacob and Marcelo are fighters. And like, I do actually think that they're fighters. Like, I think that Jacob definitely is a fighter. He did win a battle back. He did like use that. He put up a huge target against Muna. So I think that Jacob's a fighter, and I may not like his style, but I thought Marcelo is a fighter too. Like, I think that I don't like his tactics, but I just didn't feel like the fighter narrative was that effective for me to be swayed. How about you?
Yeah, I think every single person in the final seven are a fighter in some way, shape, or form. So maybe it's just the word choice. And like Muna's entitled to her own opinion. We all are, obviously. And I think if she's trying to cement a final four, which I believe she had mentioned of Spencer, Josh, herself, and Billy, sure, calling all four of you fighters, and that's great. Cool. That's her giving her opinion and solidifying those four as a final four for a reason. I just do think, at the same time, Luna doesn't see everything that's being told to us during the confessionals or all aspects of gameplay. We as the viewers are really lucky to get a great edited episode that shows us a lot of what's going on. So we don't have to do a lot of guessing. They do.
Yeah. She does, and she wants to give her LOS to Billy if that's necessary or whatnot. So I guess she's kind of planted the seed that that game moves might be coming. So I think that also she was maybe planting a little bit of the seed for her if she was in the final two position, just like of some of the moves that she has done or will be doing. And so I think that was smart, just kind of laying out more of the plan. So when they see these things go through, they'll kind of be like, oh, she knew, she planned this out. So I think it's very good to show things that are going to happen to know that you have a really good handle on the game. Natalie,
telling the jury members, telling the jury members to telling the jury members to vote for Billy for safety because she has an LOS was a great move, and it's just her telling them what's going to go down. It's the two of them safe this week if they choose Billy, if they have the same nominees. So that definitely made sense.
So Natalie was next, and Natalie, I liked her plea. She's going after people that she can't beat. And so I thought that it was really good that she did that to make them understand why she took the shot at Muna. Being like, I can't beat Muna. And I loved how she's like, I can beat that person. I can beat that person. I can beat that person. Like, I felt her confidence in who she could beat. I was buying it. I was like, yeah, I think you could actually. Yeah, I think you could. And it also plants the seed in the jury that she can beat them. And so I thought that her tactic was good. You too?
I thought Natalie and Billy were probably the two most impressive people to me in front of the jury. And we don't necessarily think of Natalie as the best public speaker, but she did really well. I'm rooting for her. I'm definitely rooting for her.
She lays out her final four, which I think is also really good. If she gets to the final two and that's what happened, the final four, they're gonna be like, oh, she said that was gonna happen. Like she did whatever moves it took to get 3 people out so she can be in the final four and with those particular people. So I can't remember who she said though. Is she still doing who's her final four? Josh
herself, I believe Spencer and Jacob? I don't think she included Billy in the final four.
No, I mean, Billy did include her in her final four, but yeah, it must have been Jacob. And she would put up Josh and Muna.
Mm-hmm.
Because what was her reasoning? Because she thinks that Muna is more threatening and she's not threatened by Josh? I can't remember. She said that's good.
She wants to take a shot at Muna, obviously, again, because as we know, shit hits the fan with this. Why Josh though? Maybe she thinks he has an LOS.
Maybe she thinks that people would vote out Muna. And she also said that she didn't think that Muna would pull her into the battle match.
Yeah, that's probably a part of it too. I don't remember, to be honest. But whatever it was good, Natalie.
I know. I put a good pitch instead of writing down what you said. Next up is Billy. So she's obviously going to do Marcelo and Jacob. She said that she hasn't been voting scared, but she didn't. But in my opinion, though, she didn't stand up for anybody. So this is where you were saying that Billy's playing the best game, and this is where I like Billy's game. I would want to play with her. I'm enjoying her navigate this game board, but I do think that by not voting somebody out, like she's like, oh, I have friends, I'm friends with everybody. great, but it didn't show your cards. It doesn't show who you're more loyal to. And so I do feel that is a little bit of playing scared to make a move against somebody that you consider your ally. Yeah, what do you think about that? Because I know you play very loyal and there's always a time to strike, but what if everybody that you're playing with, you have a loyalty to?
Yeah.
I'd be pissed. I'd be pissed if my ally threw a vote on somebody else and I went into the battle match. I would be equally as pissed because their vote could also save an ally, you know?
I don't necessarily think, I think that Billy is playing with the notion of loyalty a lot more than she's actually being loyal. Though I do think now that we're getting down closer and closer to the final four, to the final two, she really does have a pretty good gauge on who, like, her ideal final four should be Spencer, Muna, Josh, 3 people she has a great relationship with, 3 people who probably are not going to want to drag her at the final four, but at the same time, she's probably the first person that's going to be threatened at the final four. So there is kind of there might be a little bit of a conflict once she actually makes it to final four. I don't think she's as loyal as she lets on, even though I do think she's a loyal player. I do think she's a loyal player, but I don't think like the fact that Natalie still believes that she's hanging on a thread with loyalty with Billy. I think Billy would cut Natalie in a second, especially at final 6. I thought in general though, final 6. I do think Billy's pitch was beautiful. I think Brent was right when he said that she played on a beautiful. Really played on people's heartstrings, but something's kind of stayed with me for the last few weeks about something that Billy playing as a killer. It was such an incredible round. We all celebrated how beautiful that gameplay was. And I don't want to spoil anything, but I'm just surprised that Billy hasn't spoken out about it yet, because I do believe she's going to get a chance to speak about it with all the gamers. So I do feel like Billy's in a really, really good spot. And that's all I'll say. I don't know anything.
I'm finding you in a good spot, but I'm just saying that, like, she said that she hasn't been voting scared, and I do think that she has been voting, or she has been voting not weak, like weak, like she hasn't been voting like, this is what I want, this is what I like. It's not very actionary, it's not proactive. It's like, I don't want anybody mad at me, so I'm going to throw my vote on somebody that's going to be okay with it.
It's self-serve for sure.
That's the only flaw here, you know, is that, like, I would want my ally to vote in a way that would help me, not in a way that would send me out of the game. And so her loyalties didn't allow her to pick any sides. Great. But I'd be pissed if I was her ally, you know, because her vote could have saved me.
I'm sure everyone watching back is like, fucking Billy, damn it.
You just voted this way, I would have been in the game. Yeah. Hi, Dolores. Hi, guys. Why do I think that she mentioned Billy, but you may be right? You mean Natalie? I guess. I don't know. I don't remember if she. I'll look. Well, actually, Joseph, do you know? Oh wait, Joseph says Natalie wants to take out Billy at final 6 and vice versa. Yeah, that's like the 6. The final. That's next episode, right? Is it going to be the battle?
Yes.
Joseph says, all this taught me was that it's Muna's game to lose. She has that jury wrapped around her fingers. I agree. I know you're saying different, but I think the jury wants the Muna arc.
Yeah,
Hi, Superman. Hey, this episode was spicy, and I also wanted to say that I recently watched Drag Me to Sequester Mini, and Jojo, you were great in that.
Casey Becker, baby.
Aw, you got a fan. You got a shout out. A super fan tan, super tan.
That was probably my most fun Sequester experience for sure. 1,000%. I mean, I played obviously because I won and because it was a great overall experience, but playing as Casey Becker was really fucking fun. So yeah, I had a great time. I'm glad you watched it, Super Tan. That's so cute.
So cute. Laura says that is Billy's ace in the hole for a winner's pick. I think. See.
Yeah, I think.
See, Joseph agrees with me. I think that Joseph's always right. So not you, Joseph. That's Joseph.
Fine.
He agrees with me, thinking that it's working, and everybody left that she hasn't had to fight for her life to stay in the game. Exactly. So she's creating the narrative of like she's fought to be here. She's been with the jury. She knows what they're feeling like. She's battled back. She's had people turn on her. She's still staying there. She's resilient. She's willing to play an LOS on herself or her ally. Like, I don't know. She's, to me, painting a picture that the jury is going to want a champion behind. But other people are doing good pitches too. Who's next up though? Oh, Josh. So Josh says that he knows he has friends in the jury, and I like that he's aware of what's going on. And so he didn't know anybody starting this game, and that was one thing that we talked a lot about was like, were these would that be an advantage or a disadvantage not knowing anybody? And so far it's been an advantage because he doesn't have all this baggage or these relationships like, oh, I can't screw them over because like I know their mom, like there's all this kind of extra stuff hanging over top of things that him coming in there, he can make these connections. He can have loyalties or whatnot, but he didn't know them before the week before, So yeah, it's a little bit easier for him to play his own game. So I appreciate that. What do you think?
Absolutely. I think, you know how I feel about Josh. I love Josh. I think he's great. I would be happy with the Josh win. I think there are definitely people that Josh can beat at the end, but I'm always rooting for the girls.
I know, of course.
Can't help it.
I really felt though with his pitch, he was making the jury like him. He was setting up his gameplay. I was taken in. I was like, yeah. And he said he wasn't put up Billy and Muna, which I thought was maybe risky because I felt that they're favorites like him with the jury. But I think that it shows that he has a good, his whole pitch shows that he has a good handle on the game. And I really felt that he was clear on setting up his narrative. So it's kind of like, he just just setting it up a little bit. And then when he's in final two, he can carry on with all the work that he did. I think that he was more so setting up the jury than he was for maybe getting Billy and Muna out,
Yeah. I would have taken that 3 minutes with the jury for sure if I didn't feel like... I think it was a very predictable nomination pairing this week. So I would have just been like, my 3 minutes, I'm going to give 2 minutes and 45 seconds about how I'm playing this game or how I want it to work out. So here's my pitch. Done. And I don't know if people came in prepared. I felt like... I don't know. We'll see.
How do you think it happens?
Sorry?
What do you think of Spencer's pitch?
It was good. He definitely laid out a great plan to make it to the Final Four with people that the jury likes. So I think the jury would like that. I think it was funny when Shireen was tilting her head with the mask. Like, what are you commenting on, Spence? A little bit of a reaction from the jury, which I loved. And I don't know. I think I think Spencer got a lot of heat and hate the first couple of weeks of Sequester in general. And I love a good redemption. So I'm hoping that this can work out, and good on him. If Spencer makes it to the final two, he's got a case for sure. So
Spencer also that Marcelo's throwing votes, which I think was smart because I don't think that the jury loves that. And that's another thing too with Billy. Billy's been throwing votes as well. I don't know if they love that because they're on the jury because of the fact that they didn't have the votes to stay. So But I thought it was smart of him to be throwing just like all the kind of the negative things about Marcelo and Jacob. And pointing out that they have no loyalties really to anybody anymore. And so he wants to work now with Josh, Muna, and Billy, and that's who he wants to have as his final four. So I think that was what was the best part of his pitch to the jury, because if they want to see that, they may be giving it to him. But I think, though, it would have been better for people to choose other than the obvious targets of Marcelo and Jacob, because they're going up for sure. Like pretty much anybody that puts them up might be in the running for it, but it's probably not going to be Spencer. So I would have maybe suggested somebody else that showed more interesting gameplay. But it was a decent pitch. Jacob says Muna and Natalie because he thinks that Natalie wouldn't choose him for a battle back, and he doesn't think that he can salvage his relationship with Muna, so he might as well continue following through with that. What do you think about Jacob's pitch here?
I think maybe him saying like, I regret everything, or playing nice with Muna might have been a smarter move for this round, and kind of owning up to what he was doing. He did say that he's playing this game for himself, and he's going to do whatever it takes to make it to the end, and blah, 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 blah.
And he knows that he's the target.
He knows that he's the target. So I don't know if looking at a room full of Muna's allies and saying her name is the smartest route to take. But at the same time, I'm sure like the writing was on the wall for him.
Well, he kind of like rambled at the end though. So I think that he probably was reading the room, and the room was not really that receptive of what he had to say. So he kind of just didn't follow through there. Dolores says, I agree, Chantele. Billy is giving her truth to throwing her vote away. Plus next week should be explosive. Everyone will be using their power including Josh. Does it have to be used by Final Six? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think Final Six is the last time you can use them.
Okay. Yeah. So Josh is going to be in for sure, unless he uses it on somebody else. So in the final five, Muna will most likely be in the final five. Who went out this week? Jacob might get the battle pass again.
He might.
It's gonna be advantage get in. Oh, sorry, what? You're frozen. You're frozen when your heart's not open. Are you still frozen? No. Yeah, you are still frozen. Okay, you're back.
Okay, Madonna. No, I am. I can see me.
You're fine now. You're fine now.
You're just over my car speaker now.
Okay, that's
good.
Cool. So Brent was really impressed by Natalie. And he also liked Muna and Billy and chose Billy to give this opportunity to. Same with Rachel. Rachel liked liked Muna's speech, but chose Billy. Katie does feel that Marcelo needs to fight, so maybe the Muna talking about fighters and fighting helped her pick Billy. Brendan also picked Billy. He wants to see that LOS be played. And Jay West, he didn't even really add any, like a comment or anything. Like he's still been there. I do want to hear a little bit more of his thought process, but he just chose Muna. Like he wasn't even on the same page with anybody else in the jury, which I was like, what's happening? Is he not talking to anybody? Is he not talking about the game? Like, does he not have a handle of what's going on? Like, I get wanting to have Muna have the power, but like, how did everybody else know that Billy was the better choice?
Because Muna told everyone if Billy picks his nominees, pick her for safety.
Jay West not get that memo? That's what I mean.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Jay West, pay attention.
To pick Billy. So that means Billy's going to be safe, and Marcelo and Jacob, Billy's nominees, are going to be up for the elimination and then battle back. Eek, eek, eek.
Yeah.
So this is where everything kind of just goes like, like after like everybody's just kind of running around, scampering, like having conversations. And I thought that this passive position that Marcelo has been taking was an act, but is that really how he plays the game? Because from the beginning, he was like, I'm a snake, I'll stab you in the back. And he seemed very aggressive in his choice of how he wants to play the game. But what I've seen from him so far is that he's very passive and kind of not standoffish, but passive and like scared and like, oh no, not me. And I thought it was an act. It seemed like it's not an act. What do you think about how he was going around trying to talk to people?
I think he panicked. I think he went on the attack with Jacob and threw him under the bus right away instead of trying to play the round. The writing was on the wall for two of them, and he just kind of lost an ally that he could have held on to. No matter which one of them went, they didn't have to take the other to battle back. So why create lemonade out of lemons when you could just juggle lemon? I don't fucking know where I'm going with this. Lemons, lemonade. I think he played it poorly by throwing Jacob under the bus right away.
Like, I don't know what he could have done differently, but it was really distasteful to me how he was reacting. And like, I love the line when Jacob's like, let's lower our voice. I'm not in the mood to yell at you. And I was like, yes. Yeah. I like good lines, of course. But like even Marcelo, he's like jumped, like scared when like Spencer confronts him. Like he had to have played out this happening. Like once he was exposed that he was one of the people that voted out Muna, like he had a night to sleep on it. Like he should have been thinking about like, okay, chances are everybody's gonna be pissed at me and like Jacob. I need to figure out what I need to say to people, like to keep whatever. Why isn't he thinking about these things instead of just yelling? So, Dolores is helping you out.
Could have had a one-on-one with.
Yes.
Real life. He could have went to Natalie and said, hey, I could throw you under the bus, but I'm not going to do that with Muna. I know that the two of them want to take Jacob out. Will you do me a solid and vote Jacob out? We can work this together. Jacob isn't going to drag one of us. Blah, 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 blah. There are definitely different scenarios that he could have taken instead of immediately jumping a sinking ship.
It's not good. Not good.
Line them up and jumped on public transit and.
Yeah, it was a really good showing. Jacob does eventually start to get a little bit mad, raising his voice a little bit. And I was feeling that Billy was the Spencer whisperer because, like, they were able to nail down a good relationship. Spencer was talking about how, he really took it to heart when Billy had said to him, you need to humble yourself. I was offended by her saying, not offended, but like I might have been annoyed if it were me she was saying that too, but he really took that in and was able, and he's like, yeah, she was right. I needed to humble myself. And so I really liked that she was able to rope him into her shimmer, her glimmer, her spell.
I think that's been a long time coming though. Spencer and Billy have had a pretty good relationship the last however long this show has been filming for. So I don't think it was a shocker that the two of them are kind of on the same page, because why wouldn't they be at this point?
It's true. Joseph says you could have had the best pitch in the world, like Josh or Natalie, but that jury was going to give it to Muna or Billy no matter what. This jury will be bitter as F in the final two. It's true. So neither of those two can get there if anybody wants a shot to win. The final four is going to be really interesting. Oh, yeah, because everybody really wants it. They kind of have to know that Billy and Muna, neither of them can get there or they're going to win for sure. Yikes. So That's going to be very, very, very touchy. So Jacob tells Natalie and Josh that Marcella is coming for them, and not Muna and Billy, which I think is it's true. Like, I think that Jacob does point out facts, and that's what I appreciate, is that, like, Marcelo isn't going to be targeting Muna, isn't targeting Billy at all. And I'm sure it would be very easy for him to target Natalie or get on the train for Natalie or Josh to be the people up for elimination. So, or voted out. So I thought it was a good pitch. And I thought that Jacob might have been able to get that one extra person. What did you think? Did you think that he was doing well? Did you know for sure that it was going to be Marcelo one?
No, I thought. I figured sure Jacob was gone.
At least, but not. Did you? Anyways, you understand what I meant. No.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I thought it was gonna be 3-2.
And you thought that it was gonna go this way.
Yeah, I thought Jacob was gone.
I was hoping that I thought he had a chance, because, like, I felt for me that Marcella was just kind of. He's just not a good ally, you know, and at least Jacob would be a shield, take out maybe somebody, maybe go for Muna again, have that number with Natalie to be able to try for Muna again. I don't know, but they didn't vote for him, so it's okay, I guess. When Billy learns Muna will cut her out, you know, Billy will go off on her. She will consider that betrayal. When did that happen? Did I miss that?
It didn't, Dolores.
Dolores, I don't think
full of shit.
That Muna would cut Billy ever. Because they had that hugging moment where they're really excited to see each other. I mean, I don't think that either of them are, at this point anyways, I don't think that they're playing each other at all. I think that they plan to take each other to the end.
No.
Exactly. Yeah. Moon and Spencer talk about the final four, which would be Spencer, Muna, Josh, and Billy. It's a pretty good final four. Then, you know, they feel like they're the movers and the shakers in the house, the people that had to fight to be in the game in that sense. So I think it's a good final four, and I think it's a good thing for Muna to be able to pitch, but then that also could bring Jacob into that mix, right? Because he did also. Now, after this episode, spoiler alert, wins his second battle. So, dun, da, da, da. What did I write here? Not play to win, not playing for the, I don't know. It seems like it was something good, but I don't know what I wrote. Laura says, I thought that she didn't want her in the final four. Jojo pointed out. Okay, so Marcelo starts whimpering to Natalie and Billy's like, just ropes Marcelo up and like, let's talk. And Billy thinks that Marcelo played her. I felt that this scene, Billy came across as like a mob boss. You know, she's just like sitting and she's just like listening.
Listen.
And basically saying like, you didn't do something directly to me, so I'm going to keep you. And I'm like, it was so mob bossy. What were you going to say?
Ooh. I think if they also, I really think that Muna, Billy, and Josh played the round correctly, because with Marcelo and Jacob going after each other so hard and fighting one another, I think it was obvious who the battle match person was going to be. So I don't think that they were actually in any danger.
Yep. Definitely
yes.
Godfather. And I think it was Marcel that said this, but that people respect Billy the most. And that's probably why I thought about this like mob boss. It was all about loyalty and you know, partnerships. And you know, I felt it was definitely Godfather energy going on there. I used to, when I was younger, I used to love mob books. Like I used to read all of, I think his name is Mario Puzo, like all the different Godfather, like all the different ones. They're good. I love a good mob story. Cute. They're all about loyalty and love and family, and it's good. It's kind of like a soap opera.
Betrayal.
Right?
Murder.
Yes.
Money.
Yeah. Yes. Love it. So she isn't voting for him,
Yes.
which was pretty clear. Especially because Jacob had lied to her face when he was like, no, let's save Muna. And so that's kind of what Jacob outwardly duped Billy, but Marcelo just didn't do what he said, you know? So I see that. So Jacob, what was I writing there? Oh, those are the votes. Okay. So he definitely respects Billy. Jacob respects Billy for her loyalty. He kind of goes down the line and talks about everybody, of how he feels about people. And then so did Marcelo. Basically, Marcelo and Jacob are the two up for nomination. And were they speaking before the vote or was it after the vote? I can't remember.
After the vote.
So we learn that Jacob is going to be going into the battle match. So he didn't want to reveal any votes. Were you surprised by that?
No, but what I was really...
I've never watched the hospital, Dolores. I watched, when I was younger, I watched Days of Our Lives and Young and the Restless. And Passions.
What about Passions?
Yeah, but it was terrible, but yes. Okay,
Timothy,
sorry.
I love Timothy. I thought there was a big fatal flaw this week, and I think it's going to come back to haunt Jacob. But the fact that he didn't force Muna to play that LOS, he knows that she has an LOS. She might think of it as a favor if he returns, but I think it's too little too late with Jacob. And if he really wanted to play the most like villainous role this season and he's going all out, he would have forced her to play her LOS.
I think he's just like feeling bad and like doesn't want to take the shot again, and like he knows people are going to hate him. Like I think that he's just weighing his how he's being perceived by the viewers and the jury, and so I think that he just didn't want to strike again. I think he was doing more so damage control, especially if he wasn't going to come back. What? You didn't like it, huh?
I just think he should have done it. No.
Finished what he started, at least flush that LOS out. He can still pick who he wanted to pick. He picks Marcelo. Were you surprised that he did this?
No. I think it was pretty obvious that he was personally hurt by Marcelo and he wanted to battle him. So why not? He probably isn't going to want to choose one of the girls, I'm assuming, if that's still the narrative that's being painted, that men can't choose women for battle matches. So Marcelo totally made sense for him to be the person to go up against.
Dolores agrees with you. You're right.
Yeah,
It was a
mistake. The LOS really should have been flush.
Oh, pardon?
Yeah, the LOS shouldn't have been flush, but I'm not complaining because I'm cool with Muna having one. So as a viewer, I love it, but as a gamer, I'm thinking, fucking... Yeah.
I expected the LOS to have been played. Yeah, I'm not sure fully what he was thinking there, but it must have been that he was just like teetering with like his moral compass and how his perceptions of him in the game and outside the game. I think that came into play. So Marcelo, though, he's almost crying and he's going down the line and he was like, Josh, you're a fucking pussy. Where did that come from?
I actually loved it because Marcelo was getting really emotional and talking about each person and complimenting Natalie for even playing the game. Like, how dare you yet again, Marcelo, bring that up. But calling Josh a pussy was pretty telling of who he would probably be going after the next round. And maybe sitting next to Josh for some of these people isn't the worst thing if someone like Marcelo is going to be pretty sour about the gameplay that Josh has been doing. Though Josh is playing 6, so whatever, Marcelo. I also hate the term, like people calling each other. So sorry.
I said my favorite part was like Josh was like, honestly, fuck you. I hope you lose. I laughed so hard.
I hope you don't come back, please. Duh, obviously. No blood loss.
Yeah, I was really. Wait, who said this? I think Josh said this in the confessional. You thought that you were playing the house, but you were playing scared. Nice line, Josh. Nice line.
Yeah.
Joseph said Josh and Muda should have flushed their LOS or at least think about it. Finalists will be interesting with all the advantages being used. Not sure if Jacob will get the battle pass back. Battle pass back. Battle pass back. Battle pass back. No, you can only do it like once. Tongue twister. Battle pass back. Battle pass back. So Jacob does address Muna, and I think that it seemed heartfelt, and I think that he was kind of saying goodbye and apologizing all at the same time. I think that she was receptive to it, and I think it was good that he did that. Now we're at the battle match, and Marcelo is saying that like, oh, he's been doing 1,300 jumping jacks a day, but realizing he meant jump rope. For the last 2 months, so I don't know how effective that's going to be, or why it's part of like the storyline. I guess it's to show how fit he believes that he was. Wow! If Jacob gets a power and 3 of 6 people use it, who is on the hit parade to battle? Thoughts? Okay, we can map this out. So we started to
Billy versus Natalie. Final 6.
It's going to be Billy versus, they're the 2 people. They're not going to have any advantages unless Muna plays the LOS for Billy to stop her from going into the battle match.
It's going to get complicated when we...
The whole episode was Billy jumping rope Dolores.
Yeah. I think it's going to be really difficult to speculate on, only because there's usually some sort of safety at Final 6, and we don't know who's going to have it. If Natalie has it, then maybe Joshua plays his LOS on someone else to get the votes on one person, and they won't use their LOS because they think it's going a different way. Or the battle, there's lots of fudge room for folks, so I think it's really going to be hard to speculate.
Well, we could,
because I do think people will use it as a move.
So going into the battle match, who are you rooting for?
Sorry, check it out.
Who are you rooting for?
Who was I rooting for? I felt bad for Marcelo and his struggle. I was rooting for Jacob to come back.
Me too. Definitely. So they have to do a cinder block dash. Basically, they have to untie 2 cinder blocks and move them as their stepping stones, basically, to get to certain positions where they have to throw a ping pong ball. I'm assuming it was a ping pong ball into a pillar or a target or like a cylinder type thing. And they had 3 of those to do. Whoever did them the fastest is going to win themselves back into the game. So I didn't feel as though Marcelo was going to win this, even with him talking about jumping jacks and jumping rope. I felt because Jacob has already been in a battle match, he kind of knows what it feels like to have that pressure, and he's already succeeded with that pressure. So I felt that he had the Vegas odds, to come back, to do well. But he really did a lot better than Marcelo. Marcelo was not good at this challenge. How good would you have been at this challenge and compared to Marcelo?
I have great balance, and I'm not just bullshitting that. I actually do. There's a little outdoor gym set up close to my condo, and there are these ball pillars with metal connectors, and I run them all the time. So I've kind of mapped out how to move. I'm agile. I think I'd be pretty good with the balance. The throwing, it depends on the day. If it's windy, how light those balls are. I don't know. I think I would have been okay getting with the blocks, but I'm not sure about the throw.
Yeah, I'm not good at throwing light. Yeah, I can't relate
Like
things.
I played baseball until I was 14, so
No, but I played baseball.
I played baseball until I was 14 and love it.
I played softball. Our connection is so bad today. Like you never hear what I'm talking. I'm just like, I don't know how to do this. So bad.
We're just a second off, and we're trying to feed the silence. We're like, find the silence. No, we're talking together.
Well, on my end, it seems perfect. Anyway, sorry guys. The connection sometimes doesn't work and we sound like we're talking over top of each other. We don't intend for that to be the thing, but it's technology. What can you do? So yes, two best friends are going at this this elimination match. And Jacob was stuffing the balls down his pants. How'd you feel about that strategy? And I never saw where Marcelo put his balls.
Jacob's he was putting his balls in his pockets, in his black sweats. I love Jacob's fashion in general, but that torn tank top is very much like back in my good old
Dolores
2016 twink days that I would wear that shit in the summer. Like, yes, Dolores.
I know, right? Are you gonna do it too, Dolores? Are you going to pocket? Okay, yeah, Marcel did the pocket, but Jacob was stuffing it down like the front of his pants. I thought it was funny. Sorry. So in your twink days, what? You were wearing the same outfits?
Did you say my pimp days?
Twink.
Okay, good. Like, I've never been a pimp. Fuck no. Our connection's that bad where it's like pimp, twink. What?
Let's end this.
I just very much wore. Yeah, I very much wore what like Jacob's ensemble. I was feeling it. I liked that he put his balls down in his balls. And I felt pretty confident that he was going to take it with how much Marcelo was struggling. And I felt for him. I felt bad for poor Marcelo. He was like, I can't do that. When he said, I can't do this, I'm like, oh, God, feeling like you can't do something during a battle match must be a really shitty feeling.
I mean, no full judgment, but just as like a viewer, I've never tried this task before, but it didn't seem that hard if you just slow down and put the cinder block down at a distance where you can step onto it. Stay low. Cinder block, take your time, Yeah. Ooh. I'm hearing feedback.
Take your time.
So Dolores says, no, not that brave. You guys do it. All right, Dolores. Maybe you should. Maybe you'd be the winner.
Fine.
Dolores says, you realize those are blue balls. I didn't. Dolores. So Marcelo keeps on falling again and again and again. I think that Jacob falls once and has to go back to the beginning and kind of restart, but it really wasn't a close match. Was it Marcelo panting in like the audio the whole time?
Was it what in the audio the entire time?
Marcelo panting.
Oh yeah, he was out of breath. Those heavy cinder blocks.
Right, I guess. Yeah, this is what I said in case you got it now. You can't hear him anymore. Anyways, Jacob wins. Marcelo is on the floor, still panting, saying he's unfit. And I thought it was a nice moment that Marcelo was like, well, at least I had the vote. Which is true. A little silver lining there.
The silver lining is the curse is still happening.
And I think that they'll still be friends.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. I'd hope so.
So
I would hope that Marcelo was rooting for Jacob now, but who knows?
Yeah, I'm sure he is. I don't know if he'd be good at doing damage control for Jacob, though. I don't know if he's the best at that. So Dolores, Joseph, do either of you have any other thoughts about this episode, Super Tan? That's pretty much all that I had going in. I am excited to see what's going to happen in the final 6, especially with Advantage Geddon. Is there anybody that you would prefer? Like, who would you prefer to leave next for the leave at final 6?
Oh,
I'm gonna say no. I don't know. I love everybody. Blah, 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 blah. If you had to choose.
No. I'm gonna give an answer. I'd I want to see Jacob go next. Jacob Jones, 2-time winner.
Yeah, it might be Jacob. I don't want Josh to go. I don't want Deb to go. I don't want Billy to go. I don't want Muna to go. Who else is there? Josh and
my ideal final 4 is Muna, Natalie, Billy, and Josh. No offense to Spencer. I think Spencer's great this week, at the very least. But
Spencer. Spencer can go next for me, and then Jacob. And I like that final 4.
Yeah, I think that's kind of who I'm rooting for right now, though I'm not actively rooting against anyone. And I really do love watching a show that I'm not like, oh God, get that person out. I want them out. I liking everyone, and I really do like everyone. So yeah.
Agreed. Well, we'll see what happens. Do you have anything else you want to talk about?
I got a piece so bad, but no.
Jojo. Just in case people didn't see the new additions, please do us a favor. Help us out by subscribing right down below over there. We are just looking to get to 1,000 subscribers, and we can't do it without you. So even if you could share this with a friend, that would be amazing. Oh, Joseph has a comment. Joseph says the final 6 is so strong. Anybody can win. I love this season. This season has done more than the past 3 seasons of Big Brother combined. 100%. You are speaking facts, Joseph. Facts, facts, facts. I don't remember the last season of Big Brother that I've actually fully enjoyed, other than I'm always going to watch Big Brother because I'm a super fan. The fact that I haven't enjoyed the game or the show in at least 3 seasons. Dolores agrees with you, Joseph. We're all on the same page here. Big Brother has been big garbage, basically.
The word.
So I love you guys. We might be doing Drag Race episode 2 and 3 later on this evening. So if you guys want to tune in, probably later, maybe an 8 p.m. type thing. We'll have to figure it out. But you might be able to find us there. So if you're subscribed and you ring that bell, you will know when we go live, if you're going to be notified, because it's going to be off schedule. We want to do it with Jonathan, and Jonathan is one of those lucky people that is still working while we're all in a state of emergency, self-isolated. So we're seeing when he's available so we can all talk about episode 2 and 3. We'll make our draft picks of that this season, which we haven't done yet. And I think it's a perfect time to do so. And now we have a lot of information on these queens that we can make a very good educated guess. And I think we can have a lot of opinion too of who will do well. So that's what we'll be doing later on today. If you want to join us, other than that, we will see you soon. Love y'all.